Today we're going to be starting our chili grow along. These plants originate from Southern and Central America, which is a very different climate to ours and really do need that longer season in order to produce as well as they can. So by starting them this early and under grow lights and on heat mats, then we're going to have a more successful crop than if we were to start them later. However, if you cannot join in yet because you don't have any grow lights, then I urge you to wait till at least the middle of February, if not from the beginning of March, in a very well lit window. This is video 2 where we are going to be sowing the seeds. All the information of what you need is in video 1, so do check out that one if you haven't done so already. So today we are going to be using either seed compost or we're going to be using multi-purpose compost that has been sieved. We need a finer soil for these seeds than we would do at later stages of the year. And then the other thing we're going to need is a dome or a plastic bag, a tray or a pot with holes in, and then a tray or something that is going to not have any holes in and is going to actually catch the water that may be coming out the bottom. If these are the first seeds that you've sown this year, then I would make sure that you check the compost that you have. If you haven't bought fresh, then the likelihood is that the older compost will cause a lot of fungus gnats in the house and just generally not be a very good quality. It will have sat and sweated and got a little bit full of slug eggs and things like that. So you may find it easier to go out and buy new compost. The other thing is, if your compost is completely outside, then it is beneficial to bring in the tray and let that compost warm up before we put these seeds in, just to give a bit of a head start and less of a shock to the seeds as they sit in the heat mat. So the first thing I'm doing is just popping some compost through this sieve. This is Durston's peat-free compost. I usually use Manor Farm, but I couldn't get a hold of any fresh yet. And these are a good quality one that I would definitely recommend, but they do have quite a bit of larger bits in them and some stones and things. For all these larger bits, I collect them and then I pop them at the bottom of pots. So don't throw those away. They do come in handy to add drainage and they'll continue to break down, or you can just pop them straight in your compost. I'm just going to do a second sieving with a smaller sieve as well. There you go, you can see there's actually quite a bit of larger pieces still in there. This compost here that I'm mixing in is just some of my leftover soil block mix. And I'm just going to fill up a tray or a pot to the top. Give it a little bit of a tap down just to make sure that there's no air bubbles in there. And then the other thing I do, just to make sure it's flat, is just pop one of these over and just compress it down a little. I'm going to be sowing 2 varieties in here today. This is a larger tray than I need. I could have happily got away with a third size of one of these trays, but I'll reuse this compost to sow some more seeds after these have been pricked out. So first ones that we're doing is the ones for the grow along, and that's the Palavik long chili peppers from Real Seeds. The hotter the chili pepper that you're growing, the longer it may take to germinate. So we're looking for around a week to 3 weeks for germination. And if you also have hot chili seeds rather than these that are a sort of medium chili seed, be careful actually touching the seeds, because you may find that they'll be too hot, and then if you rub your eyes or something, you'll be regretting it. So you may wish to use tweezers. And we're just going to pop in a run of these seeds. I've popped 12 in currently. And then just grab yourself a little pokey tool and just pop them down. And they do not want to be down very far. So I'm literally just making sure that they're in contact with the compost rather than trying to put them to a depth necessarily. But it's about sort of 5 mils down currently. And these ones are a hot chili seed, so I'm going to be a bit more careful with these ones. And then if you grab your little pokey tool and just pop it on a bit of water, you should be able to just lift each individual seed to place where you want to on the compost. And then all we need to do is take a little bit more of this compost and we're just going to pop it over those seeds. A very thin layer, we don't need much at all. And just refirm this down just to ensure that those seeds have good contact with that soil. Then the next thing we need to do is water them. We're going to water them from the bottom. These are larger seeds, so we would see them if they're dislodged. But if I'd had another row in here, then we could end up mixing them up, which I don't necessarily want to do. So we're just going to fill the tray with some water and give it up to sort of 15-20 minutes. Once we see that the top of the soil is dark and wet, then we can empty the water out from the bottom and pop that dome on the top. Both of these two varieties that we've just sown are newer seeds, so we're going to have a look at what we can do now. Either if you've got seeds that you've struggled to germinate before, or maybe you've got some older seeds like I've got here. So this is an older packet of mine, and then I've had some given to me as well. They're both DKN ones. And then we're just going to use some kitchen paper and a pot with a lid. You could also use a bag. We want to leave a little bit of oxygen going into these, so we'll leave it so there's a slight bit of ventilation at the side, and we're also going to be checking on them regularly. First thing we're going to do is get the little bit of kitchen paper wet. And then just squeeze out most of that excess. And just lay that into the tray. I'm going to do a mixture of both of these packets of seeds because I don't know which ones will germinate, and I want to be able to show you what we're going to be doing once they have germinated. Once again, these are a hotter variety, but I'm just going to pop them onto the kitchen paper and give them a little bit of spacing. Otherwise we might end up with the seeds starting to rot a little bit, which is not really what we want. So now we've got these nicely spaced out, all we're going to do is pop the kitchen towel over the top, and this is going to enable them to stay moist. If you do find that they become too dry, then just spray them with a bit of water to keep that moisture level high enough for them. And then we're just going to pop that lid on and leave it so there is a slight gap on the one side so the oxygen can get in as well. And we'll come back and have a look at those and see how they do. This has been soaking now around 15 minutes, and you can see that it's starting to get darker on the top now, so I'm happy that that will be watered adequately. And then all we're going to do is remove the water out the bottom and keep that tray underneath to catch any drips. It is worth keeping an eye on the weight of the tray at this point, just because we aren't likely to need to water it, but if we are, then it's more helpful, particularly with peat-free compost, to know the weight of the tray, and that'll indicate whether or not we need to water it rather than just the colour of the tray. Peat-free compost often goes very light and looks very dry, but in reality it's very wet and holding the moisture lower down. Next, we want to get both of these containers on some sort of heat. This heat does want to be consistent if possible, so I'm going to be putting mine on a heat mat. One thing I will point out is with the heat mats without any thermostats, they tend to work at around 7 Celsius above what the temperature of the room actually is. So if you put them into a very cold kitchen or into a utility room, they may not get up to temperature. So it is worth checking that and making sure that they are warm enough or in a warmer room when you start. Other options could be the top of a fridge freezer, or in an airing cupboard, or just next to a radiator that is kept on reasonably long within each day. And then we're just going to allow the heat to penetrate, and hopefully around 20 to 25 Celsius we should start seeing some germination anywhere within a week up to maybe 3 weeks for some of the ones that take out a little bit longer. As soon as the ones that we have started on kitchen paper have started to germinate, at that point we will do another video and we will look at then getting them into some soil. And then for our ones that we are starting in soil, what I'm wanting you to do is keep the dome on. You want to keep the humidity on and keep the heat within that area as well. Once you start seeing some sort of seedlings poking up through the soil, then you could, if you've got one, open the vent on the top. And then within a day or two after that, we're going to remove the dome entirely. This is to make sure that we don't have too much water, and it allows air to circulate around these, which is going to avoid damping off. If it is in an area where you've got quite a lot of warmth, then you may find that you need to start topping up water at this point. But once again, think about the weight of the container rather than how the compost looks, and don't overwater them because it's going to be worse for them than underwatering them. And then we will be looking at these ones again when we're looking to prick those ones out and pop them into individual pots. I mentioned fungus gnats earlier, and this is something that can be a real problem with older compost, but we will definitely have some fungus gnats that look like little fruit flies, likely to fly around and come out of the compost, even in newer compost as well. One of the things that you can get that may help this is some of the sticky yellow traps, and just hang them up around the area that you've got them growing inside. I do only use these inside, not outside, because if you have them outside, then you could well catch some ladybirds and some bees and things that we don't want to be caught on these sticky pads as well. But they are really helpful in the house. The other thing that we may find that we actually get a problem with these, and that is something that can cause them to have a bit of a weaker growth, is aphids. And if you've got any indoor plants already, maybe you've got some seeds already started, or you've got some house plants, then just check those and make sure that there's no aphids present. And if there is, try to isolate these. Really, I found a lot of issues with chilies and peppers over the years with aphids that really seem to get going on them, and it can really weaken the plants. So to isolate them at this stage, and hopefully to stop that happening before they're moved outside where there can be predators, is really something that is helpful. We're going to be wanting to put the grow lights on for these as soon as we see the seedling breaking through the compost. And then at that point, if you've got your flexible type of grow lights, make sure that they are low enough. They usually need to be between 1 and 2 inches above the seed canopy, so the leaf canopy. And the more expensive varieties can usually be around 12 inches above, and you'll have instructions in that type of how much percentage of the light should be on for seedlings as well, because we don't want to burn these leaves. If you are going to be waiting and sowing these once you have enough daylight outside, then that's really something that we need to do from the middle of February at the very earliest. And then going on to the first sort of week of March should still give us plenty of growth, enough of a head start to get these chilies going and to get a decent crop out of them. If at that point you are going to be using just windowsills and they're starting to reach for the light, then continuing to turn the plant around so it starts straightening up and reaching for the light in the opposite direction can help as well. But do let me know if you've got any questions or you're worried about your seedlings, and we'll see if we can help.